Hello everyone and welcome to today's online class for class 11. When a bubble of hydrogen gas is irradiated, the gases inside the bubble dissociates into the atom of hydrogen and the atom of hydrogen starts to emit radiation. When this emitted radiation is passed through a spectroscope, that spectroscope resolves that radiation and form a spectra like this one, an emission spectra which consists of pure lines. Now, there were 6 different series of spectra that was observed after studying the emission spectra of hydrogen. Those 6 different spectra, the name of them were given by the scientists who observed those different series of spectra, like Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, Brackett series, Pfund series, and Humphrey series. So there are 6 different series of spectra that can be get, like this one. This is a Balmer series which lies in the visible region. That is the spectra that we are getting. There are 4 lines corresponding to violet, blue, bluish green, and red color line can be observed in a completely dark spectra. This series is known as the Balmer series because these series that we are getting lies in the visible region. The red color line is known as the H alpha line. The greenish blue color line is known as the H beta line. The blue color line is known as the H gamma line, and the violet color line is known as the H delta line. This is the emission spectra of hydrogen that we are getting when we are irradiating hydrogen gas, and 6 different spectra we are getting. Each series of spectra consists lines in a completely darkened spectra, and each series was discovered by different scientists. According to their name, the series has been named. When the scientists were studying the different 6 series, they were concluded an empirical formula to describe the lines that were that they were getting. Like Lyman were getting a series, a spectra in which the line that he was getting were lying in this UV spectral region, so it was not visible from our human naked eyes. And he concluded an empirical formula to describe the lines that he was getting. He said that the lines that were getting, the wave number associated with those lines can be calculated by this formula, which is nu bar equals to, nu bar is the wave number for those individual lines or the individual lines that were getting in the Lyman series. That nu bar equals to r whole into 1 by 1 square minus 1 by n square. Now n is the integer value for 2, 3, 4 and so on. Like if you put 1 by 1 square minus 1 by n square, in the place of n scale you are putting 2, then the equation will become nu bar equals to r whole into 1 by n square, 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square. It will give a value. R is a constant number that has been calculated later on by scientist Rydberg and known as the Rydberg constant. So it will have a specific value of wave number. This wave number corresponds to the first line in the Lyman series spectra, the first line of the Lyman series spectra. In similar way, the last line of the Lyman series spectra can also be calculated by putting the corresponding line number in the place of n. Similarly, all the scientists have studied their respective spectra that they had got, and they have concluded their own empirical formulas. Like for Balmer series, which lies in the visible range, he concluded the empirical formula as nu bar equals to r whole into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square. In Balmer series, n starts from integer value 3 and so on, and the minimum value is 2. That is constant. So when you are putting 3 in the place of n, you are getting the first line in the Balmer series. For the Paschen series, the first line is taken as 1 by n square minus of n 1 by 3 square minus of 1 by n square. Therefore, you have to put 4 in the place of n to get the first line in the Paschen series. For bracket series, the base value is 4. That is nu bar equals to r whole into 1 by 4 square minus of 1 by n square. So the integer value for n starts from 5 and so on. According to the position of the line, whether it is first, second or third, that is in the 5, 6 or 7 position, if you put them, their values of the position, you can find those lines. Pfund has found another series which correspond to this empirical formula as nu bar equals to r whole into 1 by 5 square minus 1 by n square. So the base value for Pfund series is 5, and you have to put 6, 7 and so on number to get the first, second and third and fourth and so on spectral line for those for the Pfund series. The Humphrey series follows this empirical formula, the base value of which is 6, and the empirical formula is nu bar equals to r whole into 1 minus 6 square minus 1 by n square. You have to put 6, 7, 8 and so on to get the first, second and third or so on lines in the Humphrey series. All of them has a spectral region in which these spectral lines are lies. Like Lehman series lies in the UV region. Balmer series lies in the visible region. Paschen series lies in the IR region, and bracket Pfund Humphrey series lies in the far IR region. So only out of all these 6 spectral series that can be observed in the emission spectra of hydrogen, only Balmer series is visible through the naked eyes of human. Later on, there comes a scientist known as Rydberg, who studies all these series cumulatively and give a combined formula to explain these emission spectra of hydrogen. Scientist Rydberg observed all the series of spectral line and emission spectra of hydrogen and gave a generalized equation to describe the lines of all the spectra, and he gave this equation in which it says that nu bar wave number equals to r whole into 1 by n square minus 1 by n plus 1 whole square, where n is 1, 2, 3 and so on integer values. Now r is known as the Rydberg constant, and the value of this is r equals to 1.096 into 10 to the power 5 centimeter inverse. Now the individual lines, like if we take n equals to 1, then this equation will become nu bar equals to r whole into 1 by n square, 1 square by 1 n plus, in the place of n we are taking Scientist Rydberg studied all the spectral series that we get in the emission spectra of hydrogen, and he concluded a generalized equation as mu bar wave number equals to r whole into 1 by n1 square plus 1 by n2 square. n1 is 1, 2, 3 and so on integer values, and n2 are n1 plus 1, n2 plus 2, n2 plus 3 and so on. And r is the Rydberg constant and known as r equals to 967 into 10 to the power 5 centimeter inverse. So now if we take n1 base value as 1, we will get Lyman series, because the equation will become mu bar equals to r whole into 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4. So the value will become for n2 will be n2 square will be n2 will starts from 1 plus 1, n1 plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, 2, 3 and 4 so on. So this is nothing but Lyman series. So when we are going to take n1 equals to 2, the series that we will get is the Balmer series. And so on. So by putting the base value n1 as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, we will get the individual series expression for Lyman, Balmer, Brackett, Paschen, Pfund and Humphrey series, and can calculate the individual lines that we were getting in each series. After the establishment of Planck's quantum theory, scientist Bohr gave his own atomic model. He only just modified Rutherford's atomic model by giving 3 postulates. The first postulate of his was that electrons revolve around the nucleus in a circular path. Supposedly, this is the nucleus, and in this circular path, this electron is revolving. Now, this is Rutherford's atomic model too, in which electrons was revolving in a circular path around the nucleus. What Bohr suggested that the revolution of electron around the nucleus in a circular path cannot happen in any circular path. Electron must revolve around the nucleus in a specific circular path, and those specific or fixed circular path is known as orbit. He termed those fixed circular path in which electron revolves around the nucleus as orbit. And he also suggests that during this revolution, the angular momentum mvr is the angular momentum, where m is the mass of the electron, v is the velocity of the revolving electron with which the electron is revolving, and r is the radius of the circular path along which the electron is revolving. By multiplying mass of the electron, velocity of the electron and radius of the circular path, mvr, it gives the angular momentum of the electron. Now, angular momentum is nothing but the energy that revolving particle is needed to do the revolution around a point. So, mvr, the angular momentum of the revolving electron in this specific circular path, is directly proportional with the h by 2 pi. Now, h is a Planck's constant. H is Planck's constant. It is a constant value. So, h by 2 pi. Pi is also a constant value. So, h by 2 pi itself is a constant value. Is a quantized number. Planck is saying, Bohr is saying that during the revolution, the angular momentum that will be created due to the electron's revolution is going to be directly proportional with the h by 2 pi, or mvr equals to n multiplied h by 2 pi, where n is the integer value. By putting 1, 2 or 3, you can get the angular momentum in the revolving circular orbit. Like in the first circular orbit, n is 1. So by putting the value n equals to 1 in this value, you can find out the angular momentum associated with the motion or revolution of electron in the first orbit to be mvr1 equals to 1 multiplied h by 2 pi, that is h by 2 pi. So for the second orbit, if the electron revolve in the second circular path, that is second orbit, mvr2, 2 multiplied h by 2 pi, and so on. So for the electron, if revolve in the nth number of orbit, in that case the angular momentum associated with the circular path in their n will be n multiplied h by 2 pi. So by just putting the circular path number with circular path number in the mvr equals to n into h by 2 pi expression, you can find out easily the angular momentum associated with the revolution of the electron. So obviously electron cannot just revolve in any circular path. It has to revolve in a circular path which with which, if it is revolving in a circle, on which if the electron revolves in that circular path, the angular momentum is going to be a integer multiply of h by 2 pi. So this theory conclude that electron cannot revolve around nucleus in any circular path. There has to be fixed circular path for the electron revolution, which will give rise to angular momentum mvr equals to n multiply h by 2 pi. This is the first postulate. In the second postulate, Bohr suggested that when electron is residing in the fixed orbit, it neither emits nor absorbs energy. Now this fixed orbit is known as the stationary orbits or energy levels. With the distance from the nucleus, this each energy level, the energy of this each stationary orbit increases. Like the nth number orbit, which is the fourth orbit, is higher in energy compared to the third orbit, which is higher in energy compared to the nth number of orbit, which is the second orbit, and which is more which have the higher amount of energy compared to the first orbit. Now this first, second, third and fourth, this number n represent the principal quantum number, which have integer value 1, 2, 3 and 4, so on. This number represent the stationary orbit number, which in turn represent how far the electron is revolving from the nucleus. So n is the principal quantum number, which gives the position of the electronic revolution. Now when the electron is revolving in the stationary orbit, energy is fixed. So the energy, the absorption or emission of energy from electron happens when electron jumps from one stationary orbit into the another stationary orbit. In the third postulate, it is saying that the emission of energy happens when electron jumps from higher energy level, higher stationary orbit, to the lower stationary orbit, lower energy level, and absorption of energy happens when electron jumps from lower stationary level, lower energy level, to the higher stationary level. Like suppose this is the electron, this is the circular path, fixed circular path, that is the stationary orbit, that is the energy levels in which the electron can revolve. This is n equals to 1 first circular path, this is n equals to 2 second circular path, this is n equals to 3 third circular path, this is n equals to 4 fourth circular path, permitted circular path in which the electrons can revolve. During the revolution, angular momentum of this electron will be equals to n equals to mvr into n equals to h by 2 pi. The angular momentum we can find out for each revolution in each path by just placing this quantum number value. Like for if the electron is revolving in first circular path, the mvr will be mvr1 equals to 1 multiplied h by 2 pi. If it is revolving in the third permitted circular path, third energy level, in that case only by putting the values of quantum number 3 I can find out the angular momentum amount, that is mvr3 equals to 3 multiplied h by 2 pi. So it is always going to be the integer multiplication of h by 2 pi amount. The angular momentum in the permitted circular path is always going to be the integer multiplication of the h by 2 pi. Now, this energy level, the energy of each level is increased from increase in the distance from the nucleus. Like the distance from the nucleus for the fourth orbit is maximum. That's why the energy for fourth orbit is maximum compared to the third orbit, which is having the higher energy compared to the second one, which have the higher energy compared to the first one. So the electron, when revolving this individual circular orbit, permitted circular path, the energy will not emit or absorb by the electron. But if electron jumps from one energy level to any of the other another energy level, then the electron absorption or the emission occurs. When electron jumps from higher energy level to lower, like 4 to 1, 4 to 2 or 4 to 3 third orbital, if it jumps, in that case energy will be emitted by the electron. If the opposite happens, supposedly from the lower energy the electron is jumping into any higher energy level, like from 1 to 3rd, if it jumps, then in case of that energy will be absorbed by the electron. This is the main postulates of the Bohr that he took during the modification of the Bohr's atomic theory. Let's assume an electron is revolving in n equals to 1 energy level and it jumps into a higher energy level, n equals to 2. In that case, the energy will be absorbed by the electron, and the amount of energy absorbed by the electron can be given by E equals to energy of second orbit and energy of the first orbit. This one gives the value h into nu. This is the mathematical expression by which we can find out the energy of the energy that is absorbed by the electron when it jumps from first energy level to the second energy level. The opposite also happens when an electron jumps from second energy level to first energy level. We are going to subtract the energy difference between the energy level and can find out the amount of energy that is being emitted by the electron or absorbed by the electron. After the Bohr's modification, emission spectra of hydrogen can be explained very easily. Now, in a hydrogen atom at ordinary condition, electron resides in the first energy level. That is known as the ground state of hydrogen atom. But when hydrogen's atom are irradiated, electrons in first energy level absorbs energy and can jump into any higher energy level like second, third, fourth, fifth and so on, any other energy levels. These states of irradiated hydrogen, when electrons are residing in the higher energy levels, are known as the excited state. Now, in a bubble of hydrogen, there are certain amount of hydrogen molecule in which the amount hydrogen is residing in its ground state, that is electron in the first excited state, and there are certain amount of molecule in which the hydrogen in their higher excited states, like the electron can reside in for certain hydrogen atom in the second energy state, for certain amount of hydrogen atom it can reside in third and so on. You can find all possible state for hydrogen's atom in a bubble of hydrogen. Suppose if an electron residing in the first excited state jumps in the second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh, that is the jump is happening from first to second, second to third, third to fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh, and after jumping in the higher energy level, when it is coming back to the first energy level, like an electron, hydrogen atom have electron in the 7th energy level and it is jumping back to the first energy level, and from the in another hydrogen atom, the electron residing in the sixth energy level jumping back to this first energy level. For another hydrogen atom in which the electron residing in the fifth, it is jumping back to the second one, and another hydrogen atom from which the electron is jumping into the first energy level, and from another hydrogen atom in which the electron residing in the third one, it is jumping back to the first energy level. And if there is another hydrogen atom from which the electron is residing in second energy level but jumping back to the first energy level, that is, if we are getting a spectra, if the electron is jumping back from jumping back always in the first energy level, the spectra that we will get is correspond to the Lyman series. Now another scenario, if we get that all the electrons from higher energy level is jumping back to the second energy level. Like from 7th to 2nd, 6th to 7th, 5th to 7th, 4th to 2nd, 3rd to 2nd. In this case, we are getting Balmer series. If the electron jumps from 7th to 3rd energy level, 6th to 3rd energy level, 5th to 3rd, or 4th to 3rd energy level, in this case, we are getting bracket series, and so on. Like for this one, the electron is jumping back onto the third energy level or fourth energy level, and this one it is jumping back to this fifth energy level, and for this one it is jumping back to the sixth energy level, which correspond to Humphrey series. So the electronic spectra that we are getting is because the sixth electronic spectra that we are getting is always the electron in their high excited state jumping back into the first excited state only. In that case, the spectra that we will get will correspond to the Lyman series. If the electron jumping from a higher energy level from an excited state to the second energy level, in that case we are always going to get Balmer series. Lines that the line that will be corresponding to a spectra is will correspond to the Balmer series. That's how all the 6 spectral series for hydrogen we are getting.